All right, let's get into our next review of the day. Today, we're going to be reviewing ANS, otherwise known as the Onsen Sniper from the San Francisco Shock, answering the question, is ANS the best Widowmaker in the world? I certainly think there's a case to be made. Well, I have to see, because we're going to Havana. Havana, one of the best Widow maps in the game. I don't know if best Widow map, definitely one of the maps where Widow is almost unstoppable. The Widow duel, critical, a lot of decision making to be made about the places you actually play, because there's a lot of interesting sightlines on this map. So this is actually I'm really glad we're doing this map for Widow, because I think this is probably the most interesting Widow map in the game, at least for professional play, to look at like the different sightlines people take, because you can actually play the map in a number of different ways. I don't think there's maps like Junkertown that I think have been a bit solved, especially Junkertown First Point. It's very good for Widow, but like generally Widows on attack and defense do the same thing every time. And I think this map is a little bit less solved. And I think it's going to be more instructive to just think about why ANS does what he does. Normally we talk about comps a lot, but we're going to wait until Smurf goes to Orisa, because I'm pretty sure he's going to play that. This is a nice little thing. You should just do this every game on Widow. For maps that have a window, you should just look out the window and see if you can see an enemy hero. Communicate to your team. Like, no big surprises here, really, but it helps. All right. Let's see what he does. Opening fight. They're going to take a peek out the left. And here's one thing to think about this peek. What makes this peek intelligent from Violet and ANS is they're expecting the Widow duel on this map. Like, they don't know yet, but they're just expecting the Widow mirror match. Maybe they actually do know, because maybe Striker called it. But instead of coming out this way, which is like, when you come out this sightline, like their enemy Widow could be anywhere, right? She could be in any of these windows. She could be like down here. She could be like on this car. There's like 20 spots the enemy Widow can be. But when you come out this door, where can the Widow be? I mean, if the Widow was fighting, she's literally, this is the angle. This is the one. There's literally one angle from Widow, is this. If she's not here, she's not able to see you. And so what makes this angle good is that a kill right now, like even though this Widow duel is very disadvantaged, it's not good to take this duel from this position. Even if you did somehow win the duel, it wouldn't even be that good, because the cart isn't moving at all. So it's better on offense here to play it slower. And so that's what he does. Plays it slower. I mean, it's a simple thing, but it matters. They're going to take a push through the left flank here, looking for an early kill, but Gargoyle's a little too smart for this. Gargoyle was ready with the shield to defend this angle. But this is just one of those things that, like, this is just a little play that, like, you don't care about this play. It's like a nothing play, you know? It's a play that you're basically just wasting time while Choi pushes car. That's like the point of this play, is like, maybe we get a kill, but like, who cares? We don't expect to get a kill when they peek like that. Same for the jump shot. Sure, it'd be sick if he kills BQB there. He doesn't expect to get a kill. It's like a low percentage play. It's a conservative play. He's just almost certainly going to survive it. He's not going to die doing that play. And that's why he's doing it. But now is the interesting moment, because now the card is being contested. We're at the corner. This is the point where something's got to give. Somebody needs to get a kill. Somebody, like, the offense needs to open something up. See, Striker's coming out of the back line. He's set up. He's put his TP behind. He's ready for the fight. So this is the moment where we really need to see what ANS does. This is where the rubber meets the road. He's going to take the same peek as before. Let's see what he gets out of it. Oh my god. He's so goddamn good at the game, actually. This is disturbing. This is disturbing. He just rolls up on him. Okay, just don't miss. Lol. So what makes this particularly good, I think, is that because this corner fight is really getting underway now, it's getting serious. Like, basically because the card is actually getting contested right now, that it's unlikely that Gargoyle will still be watching this flank. So, I mean, yes, ANS hits the perfect shot. If he missed or was a little tiny bit slow, then he wouldn't have gotten anything, but whatever. He doesn't miss, so no problem. Just don't miss. And this pick is like a game winner pick. Like, killing BAP, I think this is the second biggest kill after a Sigma, which obviously is unrealistic because Sigma has too much HP to one shot. So, yeah, so this is basically the best kill you could get, because Byram on Zen, he cannot possibly sustain his team with the heals they need, especially because now Striker could just free kill their Zen. Like, how does the Zen survive a Striker or whatever, like anything? So this is just a god mode. This is a goated kill, like whatever. This is like a free fight now for his team. So once again, what does ANS do? He goes back to the conservative style, back to jump shotting. Like, this sort of jump shot is very, very hard for the enemy Widow to predict, and very hard for her to even hit the shot if she did predict it. So a very conservative style is returning. This is a risky peek, actually. I'm surprised he took this peek, but whatever. He goes for it. Okay, he just doesn't care. He just does not care. This is a dominance asserted peek. What makes Widow a weird hero to review, guys, is that, like, I would not recommend you play this way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would not recommend that you take this peek. After you kill Bap, I mean, sure, take this peek if you don't have a kill yet. But if you kill Bap here, then your team is just going to win by default. What makes this peek sick is that it's, like, unexpected because he has no support here. Like, what I would do if I get one kill here, I would just start sitting on shield and I would, like, shoot shield. But Ons is, like, full confidence, God mode. And the thing about Widow is, like, if the enemy Widow is also playing at a high level, she might also think, okay, enemy Widow gets a kill. Okay, enemy Widow going to play conservative. I'll go for the aggressive peek. Like, that would be a normal response from the enemy Widow's perspective. So, from BQB's perspective, I don't think he's expecting this peek to come through. And when it does, and it's just devastating, he just doesn't miss. So, it's like, whatever, though. And he also crouched under BQB's shot. BQB actually did get a shot off there. He just missed. It's like, that was a risky peek from Ons, but the man is just too goddamn good. Don't tell me he hits a headshot there. Okay. I mean, I knew he was going to hit the body shot, but don't tell me he hits a headshot from Orisa on behind. He missed. That's pretty funny. He was trying to put the gas up where the Genji was going and hit the wall. But whatever. He's owning. I like this angle too. What's nice about this angle is that it's very conservative. It's isolated. There's no way when you're playing this angle, the enemy Widow cannot peek you from an angle that you're not watching. The only way would be jump shotting up here. But, like, it's impossible for the enemy Widow, who normally is going to want to recontest from this side. This is what you typically see out of Widows on recontest here, is coming out from this door. But you're fully protected from that angle, and you're just looking for support kills here. Still, he's in a... This is an even better angle, because now it's even harder to flank him. An uncharacteristic miss. I'm, like, surprised when he doesn't hit the instant headshot. It's like... It's a weird life for Ons. Okay. Yeah. Just hit that one. Yeah. Okay. God, he just... It looks... Oh. Okay. Finally, Orisa shuts him down. Somebody had to stop this man in his reign of freaking terror. Alright, this is just an Andre. I don't care what happens to the rest of this team. I'm watching how they reapproach this fight. Somehow they're winning this fight, actually. I think Violet's trance kept everyone alive somehow through that fight. But they're still fighting. Smurf somehow gets a kill. That's really nice as well. I love this little technique for the Widow duel. Because Widow duel, to be honest, is very, very important when you're playing Widow. Look at this. He unscopes as soon as he doesn't see anybody. And then he just crouch spam strafes out of the angle. He doesn't try to refight that. Once he unscopes, he gives up on that fight because he knows if he scopes in there and like scopes again and tries to kill, like, he's gonna die for sure. It's really risky to do that. So instead, he's just gonna play defensive angles. Oh my god, they C9'd? Oh no, mayhem, no. Oh my god, Smurf actually C9'd them. Oh no. I did not see this. I didn't watch this match. That's... Yo, yo, yo. That is bad. That is really, really bad. Mayhem won that fight. Yeah, that's a tragedy, actually. I think it's because Fate was holding cart and Smurf killed Fate. So Fate couldn't hold cart anymore. And no one else was ready to cover the slack in that moment. Alright, he's got walls up. This is sort of a play I would do where I'm just shooting shield. It's like a common play. There's not so much he can do here. Oh my god. Like, now, alright, how does he deal with the enemy walls? This is a very scary time to be Widow. You have no walls, enemy just walled. He's just gonna full hide pretty much. I think this is the right play. That's a very aggressive peek to even peek that, but he even fakes that. By the way, this is a good way to fake peek. One thing that Ons does is like, let's look at this fake peek, but let's actually watch it from BQB's perspective on the walls. I think it'll be instructive. Look, he sees the scope in because Ons, it's a fake peek, like he's not really committing, but On's, in order to sell the fake peek and make it more believable, On scopes in, which makes it look like he's really gonna peek. Because that's what you would do if you were really gonna peek. So it looks like he's actually gonna peek, but he's not. Like, baited, just baited. And what this did for Ons is now he knows knows the position of BQB, and he also forced him to waste time with a shot. So because he does the scope, it makes it look more convincing from the enemy Widow's POV. It makes it look like you're really going to peek, but you don't. That's nice. And then he waits at the walls. He's not peeking at all. And then he's going to... Also, I love this too, because BQB last saw him as the walls ended right here. And BQB even goes for the post-walls peek over here. And Ons is actually going to be taking a new angle here. So I wonder if this will work for him. That was a nice push, actually, by BQB and Byram. They got a lot of value out of that push. At this point, On's just looking for a kill that's safe. And okay, he sees a shield, he just runs. Nothing he can do here. God, that's so good when he does this. Like, he gives himself the maximum number of chances. I mean, not only is his aim good, but he gives himself a ton of chances. Like, look at this play is like big brain, right? Like, he knows that there were just players on high ground, so he peeks this angle because he knows that they'll likely be going back through this angle. And the deflect is there, right? But it might not have been. So he had that chance, you know? He's just making sure the Genji doesn't flank him. That gas was perfect. Oh! He was trying to kill Yaki there. He had him on the gas, but BQB was watching the angle. Nice from BQB. I would say, though, on defense, especially when you're running this comp, like, okay, we didn't talk about comps here. What makes this comp interesting is that the Sombra gives you a way better ultimate, I think, than Dragon Blade, and it gives you better potential to kill tanks because you can do things like hack a BAP drone or BAP himself, so you can't drone, or hack, you can EMP the Sigma Flux. Like, it gives you a better tank fight. But it does make On's life very hard this game because Genji can just kill him really easy. So, and the deflect is hard to deal with. So, like, BQB has a much easier job this game than On's. But On's is still, so far, having a great performance. Well, that's the thing. It's not just about clicking heads. It's about, like, the other Widow is good too. You can't just play like a bot. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. He, like, waits for the EMP to go down and then instant kills Fate when the EMP pops. I mean, obviously he hit the shot, but, like, the fact that he's ready for that. Don't tell me he's going to hit this Genji. Don't do that. It's not right. No, please. Okay, he missed. Thank God. He's human. He's human. Not a robot. Not a robot. Okay, sure. Just headshot the BAP. Why not? I was hoping he would miss that. I was hoping he would. If he hit that, I would just have to retire from Overwatch because I'll just never be this good. I mean, I'll still never be this good, but for sure, if he hit that one, I would have just known. Look at this angle. Look at this angle, guys. I'm actually gonna steal this. What the fuck? This is sick, man. I'm straight stealing this from Ons. Look at this. Look at this sick angle from Ons. Another isolated angle. So if anybody comes like. Normally I would play a position like this. The problem with a position like this is you could get peeked from 3 angles. What makes this angle good for Mons is that there's only one angle he can be peeked from. And it's the angle he's watching. So he's not going to get flanked. And like even when he looks back at this angle, he's going to hide from this angle. So he's like one angle at a time is the situation he's creating for himself. Like look at this. When he peeks over here, he's strafing back to the left so he can't see the window anymore. So he's only ever in one angle at a time. There's no way a Widow will peek him from an angle he's not watching. Now he's a little bit more exposed, but there's also, I think Striker was calling out BQB's location, so it's not really a big risk. Trying to find the Genji kill. Poggers, dude. On's human. Okay, not really that human. His team carry, though. Space created with the walls. Both Widows peeking each other with walls is a classic Overwatch moment. Alright, well, we all have to be human sometimes, Ons. Nobody God all the time. Alright. Last point though. This is where the widows come to play, baby. This is the widow duel central. Oh, I love this. I love this. Most common jump shot. He's watching it. He's watching most common jump shot, which is right here. Most common jump shot is to be coming up on this high ground, jump shot on the wall, come up right here. And this man is freaking just watching it. Like a freaking psycho. He's on that. Okay, sure. Sure, just hit that shot. No, don't kill the support here. Oh, that was Munkas. Whatever, whatever. This is an ultimate farm fight. Oh! Wait, whoa, 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 whoa! Look at the brain on this guy. He sees a shot and he's just ready for that peek. I mean, that peek also is not super smart from BQB, I think. That peek is like a little obvious, but he just owns it. Does he do one of the funny angles? I know there's some like really funny, when I say funny, I mean like kind of stupid angles on this point. Like you can peek through these barrels or whatever. He's not going for it right now. I like that when he shoots shield, he goes for a headshot on somebody like behind shield, if that makes sense. Like when he's shooting a Sigma shield, he's trying to hit a headshot on the Genji. Because sometimes, like one time in 10 games, the Sig is going to drop the shield at that instant and you're going to get a kill. A very risky jump shot here. YOLO and a half jump shot, but I'm guessing that's because BQB is on respawn. Oh, the double damage. Double damage headshot. I feel weird watching Uns because I feel like I expect him to hit that impossible shot on the Genji dashing with blade and stuff. I just think he's gonna hit it. Obviously, it's like the hardest shot ever in the Overwatch universe, but I just think he's gonna somehow. Like I expect it.
No one can hide from my shot.
Okay, a wall mirror here. I like this from BQB to mirror walls on defense. I think that's the best way to use them. He's very focused on the Sigma, wants to try and kill him on his exit. Oh my god! That timing shot. That timing shot was disgusting. Look at it, look at it, look at it. Watch this thing, man. That's not reaction, that's timing. That's like he just knows exactly when the Sig thing is gonna end. God, that's so good. That's ridiculous shot. And then it's like an easy follow-up because the Sig's just so low, he has to run and just body shot him. Yeah, sure. Man, that was so sick at the timing, man. Come on. That's too good. Yeah, let's watch the gargoyle POV on that shot. That's so big. Like that's such a huge kill. Like people think about when they think about big Widow plays, people think about like the 4K or whatever. You know, that's what you think about is like when the Widow pops off and kills the whole team. But usually when the Widow kills the whole team, not always, but usually it's like some cleanup shit. Like the important kills have already been had. The first blood is the most important kill, especially when it's the Sigma, the most MVP kill. Like killing Sigma is the best kill you can get. Oh my god. The animation isn't finished yet. Look at him.
What was that equation again?
Oh my god. That's incredible. That's like incredible frame perfect shit, dude. What the heck? That's so sick. That's another nice thing you can do on Widow, by the way, is like, cause like let's watch that from BQB's perspective. When you go for this jump shot, look. Oh, I don't think he even saw him, but yeah. But wait, let me go back further. Let's watch the BQB POV on this. I think it's instructive. Okay, he wasn't even looking at him. All right, whatever. But Ons assumed he was looking at him. This is actually something you see a lot in Overwatch League is like he saw. I mean, I thought BKB was looking at him too, but I think he just wasn't. BKB just didn't find him in time because they were both jump shotting at the same time, which I don't think either of them expected. But as soon as he saw the enemy Widow, like 0.25, we go back a little bit. Okay, this shot, we can relive this shot one time. I'm not mad about that. I mean, that was just too nasty, man. The frame perfect timing on the Sigma, that was too nasty. But this is actually that. I don't know how much you can learn from that. He's just better than everyone I've ever seen. But what you can learn from is this. Look, he shoots, and he sees this. He sees BQB jump shotting him, and in this case, actually, a BQB like doesn't see him, or it's like it's just a very unique situation where BQB wasn't expecting him to be at the peak of his jump, right? So BQB actually wasn't aiming at him, but assuming from On's POV, it looks like BQB's aiming at him. I mean, you have to think as a Widow that the enemy Widow's trying to kill you. And then he's going to look down and like, look what this is going to do to his head. We're going to watch him up in here. Look at his head. Look at his head. Spinning, looking down, spinning left, right. It's big. And it makes it very hard to hit your head from an enemy Widow POV. So that's something like, it's something you can do if you already shot on your jump shot, or you just think the enemy Widow has an edge on you, and she's on the ground and she's going to shoot you because she's like looking at you already when you're jump shotting. As soon as you realize you're in trouble from an enemy Widow and you're in the AR especially, that like look down and spin your mouse thing is really, really annoying. It's super hard for enemy Widow to hit. Why is he even watching his back? I don't even know. Oh, because they don't know where Zen was, maybe? Don't hit this one. Don't hit this one. Don't. Oh, okay, thank God. I love this angle. I actually play this angle too. This angle is a great angle because you're super isolated. Like, no one can get to you. Like, Byram is trying to get to him, but like, this is how you have to get to a Widow if you're going to get here. And Byram's gonna die to the gas, but what the fuck is Byram? Oh my God. I love this from Byram. But what makes this angle really good is that it's basically impossible for people to actually get to you. I mean, Byram went for it, but like that was the price of going for it, was that he's a mile away from cart. But like, yeah. Like this angle here where you're peeking this brick is like, how can the enemy Widow see you? The enemy Widow literally has to go up here. And the enemy Widow just died. So when she respawns, realistically, the most common place enemy Widow is going to come is this angle right here to try and fight. Or maybe it might be this angle right here. But in either case, as Widow from this little brick position, you're very annoying to hit even if they do look at you. And you have this very protected angle, which is something I see Ons do all the time. Is he's just watching very defensive protected angles where like no one, you can't sneak up on him in an angle. You can't like come out of an angle he's not looking at. You know, he's like he's watching the angle. If you come into his sight line, he's already watching that. There's no way you could like come up on it on like from his left or his right where he's not ready for you. Next time, can I watch King's Row? All right, I got you, Ons. Let's just make this a double. Let's just go. We'll finish Havana. We'll do King's Row. We'll make it into one vid. God, it doesn't look human. He's so good. I like how he's not even looking at the tanks here. Like, he took the headshot on the halt because it was like set up by the halt. But after the halt setup, he's looking for kills. He's not looking for damage on tanks to farm in for sight. He's looking for kills that win fights. I like the bounce there on the grapple shot. It's a little technique for you, the kids at home. If you jump, like I'll show it after this shot. This is nice too, because like look, he's looking here. He's like, in this case it's shielded, right? But he's looking for the supports. Like he doesn't, once the tanks have already set their shields up, he doesn't care about them anymore. This angle, he knows this angle right here on his right could be risky. BQB could be watching that. So he does the B-hop thing, look, bounce. So you have to like jump right as the grapple ends, and you get this big bounce that sends you like really flying sideways. And that is, it's very difficult to hit that. So when you're crossing a contested angle, it's a good way to do it. sees the Widow behind that shield. He's going to once again control an angle. This is going to be a very aggressive peek he's about to take. I like that he crouch peeked this. He crouch peeked to like use the railing. I wasn't even thinking about that. But because he crouch peeks, he even has the railing for like a spot of cover. And I think he's only going to take one peek because that angle is a very, very risky angle. I don't think he's going to re-peek that angle. Yeah, he has to get out of here. This looks pretty bad for Shock. Yaki dies, but Yaki still kills Smurf. So this is still going well for Mayhem. Oh, this. Oh my god, the brain. The brain on this guy. Like, what makes this so smart, you guys, is that, like, look at this from BQB's perspective. Look. I think BQB cut a glimpse of him. Maybe he doesn't know. He checks it. Starts shooting somewhere else. But what makes this really smart, I want to go back because I didn't get to show what I wanted to show here. What I wanted to show is that this, like, after he gets this kill onto Yaki, he delays the re-peek for like a long time, which makes it less likely that the enemy Widow will still be on this angle, which in this case he's actually not, because like he delays so long here that BQB takes a new angle. And in this case the shield was still there, but like when you don't peek for that long on Widow, usually the team's going to assume you're rotating to a new angle. So he peeked it, he killed Yaki, he hid for like 4 or 5 seconds, like an abnormal amount of time. So this is like, for sure, it's like a mind games thing. Like obviously you would do more damage to shields if you just stayed in the angle, but this is like mind games in the Widow duel. BQB is like, wait, he's not peeking? Okay, I'll rotate. And then he re-peeks the angle. So it made it confusing for the enemy team. And now the next time he's not going to re-peek a third time. That would be a little too obvious. Instead, he's going to re-peek on high ground. Uncharacteristic miss, actually. He wants the duel. I mean, I like taking the duel here because his team's behind, but BQB played that really well. BQB, like the jump off the back was like a pretty inventive way to fight that duel for BQB.
Here I am.
I think it was good to go for the forced duel there, though. Because BQB, like, there's no way BQB can escape without taking the duel. BQB happened to win it this time, but, like, when your team is down and you're on Wrecking Ball and shit, you know, your fight is looking pretty bad. That's when the time you just should force Widow duels. Because if you win, that's a chance to... It's like, you know... It's time to take a risky gamble when your team is down players. That's the good moment for a risky gamble. Generally, you don't want to take these risky gambles. Like... on default on defense, it's more of like a emergency situation gamble.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Again, he's watching an angle where there's only one way he gets peeked here. The only way he gets peeked here is from this one spot far back. That's literally the only way he could get peeked. And he's watching it. Another peek where one angle. Exactly. Like he's always in these isolated angles where like you notice he's not just wide peeking this and the Widow could be anywhere on the high ground or whatever. He's peeking in a very controlled manner so that he's not going to be exposed to unwanted enemy Widow. Like the enemy Widow can't peek him unless he's in his own LOS here. He won't peek that left side because he's not going to control it. Like, he doesn't know if BQB has control of that angle. He's just going to stay in the peek. Oh, God. The body shot on the Yaki was actually really impact.
No one can hide.
Now he's got his own walls, and BQB is in large trouble here. Oh, my God. Yeah, well. Don't... I mean, walls versus no walls. Pretty big advantage, but... that body shot was pretty impactful too, because even if you just body shot the enemy Widow, it makes her play really defensive because she knows you can just body shot her again. I love this attempt at spawn camping. I think it's gonna work. I think it's gonna work. Oh, too good. Nobuchane. Too freaking good. This is a big brain spawn camp because, to be fair, it's not common for people to come out this lower door. Usually people come out the upper door. But if they do come out lower door, it's always going to be the Widow or the Zen or something. even BQB is like ready for it. Like, is BQB ready for it? Oh my god, he's like almost ready for it. But still, this is a major advantage for ANS in this lineup because he's like just defending the angle. And yeah, it is not an easy shot. It's pretty smart from BQB to even be like jumping in ready for that duel. Where does he reposition to after he kills Widow? He's got all the map control in the world. I imagine he's going to want to watch this left side angle to support Striker. Or maybe let Striker scout for him or something. Surprised he's pushing up like this. Maybe he doesn't realize they're pushing towards him. Yeah, I assume he'd play more passive there, but I think that's fine. He's just hoping for an aggressive peek on the right. But now the enemy team's like, this is also different. I didn't realize this. So BQB switches to Ashe. So now the game is very different for ANS. Because normally when you're in the Widow duel, the first thing you think about is the Widow duel. But when the enemy goes Ashe, it's like you become this pick hero now because the Ashe isn't really going to one-shot you. She's not really going to duel you either, generally speaking. So you are like more free to now play in a more exposed angle where now he could be peeked high ground, he could be peeked here, whatever. But there's no Widow, so he's not going to get one-tapped when he gets peeked. Another thing you can do on Widow against Ashe is play from extremely long sight lines where because you're so far away, the Ashe won't be able to, like, she doesn't do full damage anymore. So playing longer range benefits you on Widow. God, he's so good though. What the fuck? These shots on Fate. Hitting an Orisa from behind is really difficult. BQB was ready for him this time. He's praying for heals. Push up into the drone. I actually like this. Just pray for heals here. Maybe if you stand with your tanks, your BAP will heal you. There's not so much you can do here. I think the Ashe pick is really good from BQB. Because BQB is just focusing shields really hard. But the EMP was too big from Striker. Whoa, that's okay. He wasn't ready for that. Fucking the gang's all here, man. Mayhem just rolled through the flank. That's a nice play from Mayhem.
Now you have my attention.
The problem for BQB though is that it's third point. Second point, I think the Ashe is a better hero because the shield. Oh my god, what a shot! The Ashe is a better hero because the shield DPS is so critical. But on first point, I don't think. Or on second point, I think that. Or third point, I should say. I think the Widow is going to be a lot better because the sidelines are so long on third. He's getting focused by BQB, man. The Bob just to kill the Widow and zone spawns, I guess. It's really good. ANS Tracer. The flex. What's he doing now? Owning is what he's doing. Oh god. Little teabag. He's gonna go back to Widow right now. I think he should go Ashe here actually, but maybe not. Because it's Havana and because third point's about to come around the corner. Like, imagine you get to Havana third and the enemy Widow has Infrasight prepped and ready. So I think Widow is the better choice here because they full capped third. I think if you were in a situation where you had to hold here on second, I would rather see an Ashe. But I think Widow is great because you're setting up yourself up to give the best chance to win the map overall. Hoping for somebody to re-peek that angle there, maybe for a Zen to right-click it. Wouldn't be that crazy. Oh, R.I.P. Violet. You just trolled him, on. So why you do that to Violet? Okay, easy fight though. EMP. That guy got destroyed with EMP. He's actually griefing Violet. No, I'm just kidding. He's trying to get the headshot, trying to save him. But
10 seconds.
Jesus. Jay, oh god. Don't hit one more. Okay, Yaki has to deflect, sure. Dude, he's so good. Okay, Byram is hunting. Oh, Byram is like tilted. He's done this like 3 times. I mean, not tilted. It's actually a good play from Byram, but it just doesn't matter. Those kills were so impact from ANS. The recontest just can't happen. Oh my god. No, I'm trying to. My voice is dying, but I'm gonna persevere. What's the sim strat? A little bonus sim review here. Is he gonna switch? Okay, yeah, this is just a full team value strat. I kind of like this strat from Jacques, but yeah. Now it's a full mirror match. His team has already secured the opening angle, so he's just gonna basically run out of spawn. Dude, he's crazy with it. This is a really nice angle to be watching. Like, okay, God, how does he hit these shots, man? He's too good. Let's just talk about the angles, because that's what you can actually learn from. Hitting shots like this, I mean, he's just too good. Whatever. But the angle, again, look at what happens when he's in, for the first time in a long time, he's in an angle where he could get peeked from 2 spots. He could get peeked where he is watching, or he could get peeked here. And notice that he's watching the more likely angle. It'd be pretty strange for the enemy Widow to be in this spot watching spawn. That would be a very weird place for Widow to play. But even though that would be a weird spot, look at what he does. He's like up, down, down, up. Like, he's ready for the fact that the peek could come in from 2 locations. And that's actually really, really important. Because there's nothing he can do about it. Like, if you want to peek this angle, these angles are just stacked, right? There's no way you could play cover so that you only see one of these angles. You have to peek both, or you don't get to peek either. So because he takes the peek, you know, it's you're gonna get exposed to 2 angles. But honestly, like, it'd be pretty weird for the enemy Widow to be down here. It'd be a very odd position. So yeah. And then we just watch some beautiful some artistry here. All right. Just dink that guy. Why not? Oh my God, not this shot. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And it even, you kill the Lucio when he's amping. This fight's just over. This fight's just over. The Lucio didn't even get his amp off. Fury's 1 HP and he's frozen by Rascal. This fight's over. It's over. Like, there's nothing. It's impossible for Fusion to come back. It's impossible. Like, nothing else matters. Just go SMG the Ryan in the face. Like whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Wait, is the fight not over? Don't tell me they can come back in this. There's no way. Surely not.
Here I am.
No, okay, yeah, it's just still too much. I mean, that was a little bit of a... I'm surprised that was even remotely close, but... I mean, killing the Lucio before he gets his amp off means... Look at the beat charge. Like, look at the impact of this kill. Funny Astro's on 30, Violet on... Or sorry, Moth on 60. So, they're about to get swagged on by the beat. Ivy, though, came up massive in that fight. He must have had a billion headshots in a row, actually, to have this much ult charge. Dude, and look at this. He's watching the spot that Widow might jump shot. Again, the awareness on this man. He's ready for a potential jump shot. Or a potential regular peek. He's using a very weird angle. I don't know what he's doing over there. But he's just trying to find the enemy Widow. I like that even though the team is fighting here, he's more focused on these areas. Because he's mostly thinking about where the Widow is going to peek him from. In this case, I think what Hisu's doing actually makes sense because Hisu has a nice angle of his own. And again, Hisu, the good Widow fundamentals, only peeking one angle. He's not exposed to any alternate angles. So if Ons wants to peek, he's going to have to fight. But basically both Widows have a free angle right now. A relatively free angle. Oh. Okay, this is a losing fight. The Blizzard, the super fast Blizzard from Ivy, was like unexpected. I don't think that Shock was ready for how fast Ivy had Blizzard ready there. That was pretty impressive. Choi is going to Flux. He thinks he can still win it. Super with the alpha male pin. Doesn't find a shatter, though. But now, oh, this is a good angle. Oh! Ah! It's not right. It's not right. He's so good. Gee, this map is actually disgusting. So, I mean... Okay. Okay. I like that he doesn't peek that angle until he knows the enemy's retreating, to be fair. Because this angle is like ultra risky. Because like you peek this angle, I mean, it's actually quite a risky angle. Because it's just very like common. Like you see Widows peek this all the time. So Ons only actually forces the peek here. He did it once earlier on. He just peeked it for 1 second when the enemy was still regrouping out of spawn, trying to get a kill there. And then he peeks it again only when his team is just rushing forward and there's no chance of Hisu, like, there's no way Hisu would be standing and watching that angle at that moment because his Fusion is hard retreating here. But that pickup matters a lot because now Alarm won't be back to the fight in time or on like a good timing for the next round.
No one can hide from my sun.
I like the walls here. I actually think it's a little early from Ons. I would have liked it like 1 or 2 seconds later. But that's okay. Not that bad. I think the ideal time to walls is right as the enemy starts fighting. But in this case, it's like a second before they start fighting. Which is good. I guess he's worried about the enemy Widow, the mirror. But whatever. It's like such a minor detail. Probably better if you just hit 53% scope crit. And again, I mean, this is a weird situation where you have walls on, right? So it's like obvious that he's playing this. But walls are a great way to see why playing an angle like this is so good. Because Philly needs to go contest card eventually, right? But if they do so, they are coming into the sightline. And nobody can get to him. Like if a Mei peeks that, they could just die, you know, so. Keeps thinking about going forward, but he only goes forward when his team makes a big move here. So now he's going to go forward because he's assuming, and I think correctly, that this huge move is going to make Hisu is going to be like looking for kills on a support or something. Yeah, like, so only when his team makes this sick move, then he jumps in. Oh, and Hisu's not paying attention. Sorry, buddy. And this, to be fair, is an incredibly aggressive jump. Like, to jump this deep into the angle, very, very aggressive. But because he's using his team's movement like to partner with this jump in, Hisu's not looking at it. What's disturbing is that every time he misses, I know he's going to hit at least more than one other crit elsewhere in the game. That's weird to think about. Watching an very aggressive angle to be watching, but he's going to do it. This is a little bit risky because enemy would... Oh, okay. He switched off Reaper. Okay. So I think he wouldn't do this unless... Because the reason he wouldn't do this is because you could get like jump shot right here without being able to see it. But it's because he switched to Reaper. So I see why he did that. I didn't understand it at first. But I like this angle... Like, I think this wouldn't be the best angle if the enemy was also playing Widow. Not only because you would get shield peeked like this with a Widow, but also because Widow could flank you up here. So, but I think he's in this angle because he sees the Reaper swap. So he's not scared of anything anymore. Oh god. Oh, Ivy sniping though.
I needed that.
He's just making sure that he can't get caught. Oh my god. If he hit that shot, I don't know. I lost my mind. Okay, this is Beat and Blizzard. Whatever. And Cole. Fusion just ulting heavily here. It's like no surprise they win this fight. I would go McCree here, but Ons is a lot better than me at Widowmaker, so I would go McCree to try and deal with this Reaper. Oh my god.
No one can hide.
These shots, like, it's so hard to hit a Sigma from the side like that. It's so hard. Wall is baited. This could be bad now for Fusion. Wall cooldown advantage and infrasight on. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, every time I see him peek, I'm scared. Oh my god. The headshot on the Rhine. Such an impact headshot because Sato's never going to get full healed. Again, he's going to die, I think, from that initial poke damage. Sato cannot swing because he took that headshot. Sato's still low. Sato dead. Oh, that headshot was so impact, man. He's ready for a potential flanker. No. Not the Cole. Oh, Moth owning. Hitting a Coalescence is like ridiculously hard. So I don't like those shots are incredibly difficult. Okay. Sure, he kills Mei. This is just cleanup mode, right? Though, because nobody can even get to him. Oh my god. Oh my god.
No one can hide from my sight.
This is another headshot. Oh. Oh my god. He's so good. I don't know what to say. I want to rewatch this fight because he's so good. We're just going to .25 this for the joy. Alarm's even crouching there. He's like ready for the crouch. It's so good. This is a great fundamental on Widow. This is like great fundamentals on how to aim Widow. Is like, look at what he does for these shots. He puts his crosshair like where their head's going to be and then just clicks when it gets there. And like, although that seems straightforward, in this case he actually just flicked, but this moment right here in the Reaper, Hisu's making this very telegraphed movement, and his charge is really low right now, right? Like he doesn't have enough for the kill right now. So he's gonna put his crosshair where Hisu is going, like, and he lets Hisu move his own head into the crosshair, and then he just clicks. And it's much easier to hit shots like that than like flicking and clicking really fast. Although obviously Hans does both of those things, but this is like a way to set yourself up more, and it's a great thing to learn from, especially if you're not as good as Hans at Widowmaker. Put your crosshair where they're going to be and just click when they get there. That was a very fast flick, actually. So as I say that, you know, sometimes you just have to hit a fast flick, but when you can, putting that crosshair where the enemy is coming is like a great, it's just a great way to play. The kill on Ivy was huge. Yeah, that's true. So he couldn't get his ult off. It wasn't as impressive of a shot, but it was definitely a very high impact kill. I mean, Mei is a great impact kill.
Hello.
All right, Ashe.
Ready.
Okay, we'll watch some Ashe.
3, 2, 1. Attackers in.
I was thinking, oh, I think I actually did see part of this game. I think I did see this game. I didn't watch all of it. I think I watched King's Row though, because I remember watching this. I think in this comp, I'm surprised they play Ashe over McCree, actually. Or I mean, well, obviously on the first defense, you don't know. But when Fusion starts playing dive, I feel like On should go McCree here, but maybe he disagrees. Let's see. On first, I think Ashe is probably better because you could go to high ground easy on Ashe. So I like the Ashe on first, but I think McCree might be better on second and third. He's not forcing any repositions here. He's just gonna stay at very defensive angles. Playing against dive comms is a very important difference. Is like, it's not about raw damage, right? When you're playing Ashe into a mirror match, you need to like shoot shields. You need to like get big dynamite on the enemy grouping up with halts and whatever. Yeah. So you need to do all that stuff. But against dive, you really just need to stay alive and be a threat. And the most important thing really is just staying alive. And like, he's trying to rotate around to be annoying. He's trying to poke at the enemy Sombra to make her have to reset faster. He doesn't really care about farming Bob, because I don't even think Bob is good against Ana and Sombra. That's a really nice shot. He's just staying alive. He's poking. It's very boring, I would say, to watch, because that's the nature of this hero, right? In this comp matchup, is like, you just basically sit at the back and try and kill Ana if you can, and shoot the DPS when you get the opportunity to. But for the most part, it's the shoot at the Ana simulator, make her use nade on herself and stuff like that. That's the biggest value play you can make. I think he was looking for a Genji there. But this should be his death, right? There's no way you survive this, right? Oh god. Yeah, there's no way you survive this. Oh, I remember this. Big God mode play. Funny Astro. I don't know. I want a little mini highlight for Funny Astro here. Boom. Ownage. Wait for it. We're waiting for it for a little bit longer than I was thinking. Now, boom. Cancelled. And if he hits that, that could be a winning fight on the defense, especially because Choi has flux. Alright, back to the Ons review. Yeah, this is runaway time. You got back spawn on Sigma, you just can't fight. He's not even shooting. I love this. I love this. Casato's just trying to farm nano here. There's no way you kill this Winston. It's impossible. So. He's only going for kills on the targets he actually can kill. Crazy. This little spy check action for the enemy Sombra. Oh, he gets EMP'd. But a perfect drone out of Moth, by the way. Moth going God mode. He gets the drone out in between the EMP being casted and being hit. How did he live here? I don't even know. That's incredible that he survived this. That was really nice for Moth as well. I guess this is why he doesn't go McCree, because he hasn't even died yet. Well, he died one time, but he had Bob when he died. That's a dynamite and a half. Holy shit, that dynamite. The Halt Dynamite combo is broken, actually. That's what makes Ashe so good right now, I would say, is that the Halt Dynamite is just ridiculous. He's just setting up defensively. He does not want any sort of forward ground. That's interesting. I kind of like this play. Because he's just being ready to like peel out the enemy Sombra. So that the enemy Sombra, if she goes for like a farming cycle, she won't get that much. He's letting his tanks poke forward, but he is not. He knows that he's like a high value dive target. Like the enemy will try to kill him. That's such a nice headshot. God, he's so good, dude. Those headshots on Sato. Sato like can't play the game anymore. This blade is like a hard solo blade from Ivy. It's still working, but those headshots on Sato really stifled the dive. Because Sato would have just run in. God, how does he hit those? I don't know, man. He's too good. Wait. Okay, I remember what happened here. So basically, Moth used the AM Matrix and they all had to hide. So that gets Ons up to the high ground. That's how we got to this point. Again, he's in these very passive backline spots, just farming damage. What the fuck is this Moira orb? It's like a bug. Why is there a Moira orb here? It's the sun. I don't know. It's like from last round. I don't know. Comes down off his high ground. I think he's gonna go back to the high ground. If I were him, I'd just go back to the high ground right now. Yeah, there it is. This high ground spot is very good because he's with Moth, so he has protection if somebody jumps on him. And he has this good spot to throw his nades from and stuff. I like how he tries to focus the Sombra, which TP's in like that. I guess she can't TP out, obviously. He uses his left click. Here's where you switch McCree, right? Yeah, okay. That's why I wanted to see this earlier. I think Ashe is... You can use the dynamite to like push out flankers, but this hero just gives that stun potential that like you can just stun the Sombra if she's too close, or you can stun the blade. That was a really nice promo from Sato though. Pulls him out. He gets the kill before he dies, doing his job. This should be a cap though for the fusion. That was a really nice primal. It was impossible to play that, I would think, for the there's still the Moira orb here with the sun just floating. I like this adjustment that they play Sombra. Honestly though, I would like rather see Ons and McCree. But why not play McCree here? Alright, think about the reasons you don't play McCree here. One of them is that high ground is really good on first point defense. Another one is that Hizu could go Widow. So actually these are both good reasons to be playing Ashe over McCree. But he's just not going to go Widow. He's just scouting. But still, I mean... I think the Sombra adjustment is maybe makes him... Like, because he can play this high... The reason to play Ashe is that he can play this spot. Because if you played McCree, you would need to play, like, here. And the problem is just playing here is just bad. So, because you're going to die to the dive. So the reason you play Ashe is that you can play at a longer sight line. I believe it in the first point. I think it is correct, actually, in hindsight. I initially was thinking, I think you would play McCree here. Again, just because Fusion are playing dive. But this threat of poking at long range, like he might actually kill the Ana there, and then his team just wins the fight, right? So, and now he can take, he's just going to play very defensive angles here. He's playing like the full sniper role, Ash. Wait, Fury's right click actually broke Rascal's TP on accident. Oh, what a big nade. I love that dynamite. Just in case there might be a Sombra on him. Because that's the only way he dies there if a Sombra is on him. And he doesn't know. At this point, I believe he's just hiding and setting up a dive. So it's actually good to be spy checking like a lot. He values the spy check so highly, he's just going to go YOLO dynamites for it. Which actually I think is huge. Oh no, alarm. Oh, that kill is massive. The sustain is gone. Sustain is gone. He doesn't want to drop in for the kill. I would have dropped in for that kill, but I'm up for Vega. What do I know? His Choi finished off the kill anyway, so there's no reason to drop in. And now, the clutch. Oh, the dynamite back at him. Big deflect from Ivy. God, dude, he's so good. I don't know, man. He just hits everything. He just hits everything. He just hit another headshot. Why don't you hit one more? How, dude? How do you hit shots like this? This is such a... He values his life so highly here, and you can see why, because he's just goated right now. Yeah, Sato's like, has to come for him, but it's too late. The Bob's out. It's doing its deadly work. Oh my god, what a defense, man. If he doesn't get that kill on Genji, I don't think they cap this, man. Like, he got like 4 kills holding point there. Man, that is such a sick string of frags. Like, that's actually game winning. Alright, they don't do the TP thing this time. Are they? Little spy check action. Nothing interesting going on here though, unfortunately. We're just waiting for stuff to happen. Shock's making their move on high ground. This is like we've seen this before, right? This is what Sure4 did. A little more subterfuge in the Gladiators play, but this is super annoying now for the enemy. Like, really annoying. Because how do you deal with this Widow? Like, she's just right in front of her own spawn. She just runs back into spawn if you look at her. And, oh god, I just love this. Like, how do you deal? Like, they wanted to repush on the flank, but they just can't because Hans is here. Oh god. Just hit that shot, I guess. The fuck is up? This guy's crazy, dude. It's just over. Okay, hit another one, and another one. Wanna hit one more? Oh my god! Oh my god, dude, what the fuck? He's too good. Those 2 headshots in a row on the Fury were oh my god! What? I didn't even see Smurf on my screen! What? What is this? Look at this. Look at this one. This is like the most impressive shot of all. Oh my god. It's so good, man. He's the best, man. Fuck. Dude, I don't know how much you can learn from this VOD, dude. This is the like the big things. All right, let's actually try and make a good conclusion here, because there are some things we can learn from odds. Like, obviously, the first thing you can learn from odds is that you should just click the head. But that's the nature of hit scan DPS, is click the head and you win. But the things that he does that are actually really smart, a couple of them that we can highlight are, one is that when he's playing Widow, he's consistently taking isolated angles where he's watching one angle and there's no way he could be peeked from another angle. Like, in the sense that there's only one angle that he's watching, and that's the only way he can be seen is from that same angle. So there's no way that the Widow will sneak up on him or peek him from a spot that he's not watching, because he's playing and he's positioned in such a way that he only sees one angle, and he's defending that angle. And if he's going to peek another angle, he's going to try and rotate his position so that he still only sees one angle. It'll just be a different angle this time. And that's what makes his positioning really good on Widow, because he's giving himself the opportunity to have a clean duel with the enemy Widow, where the other allies from the enemy team, they won't be able to help. And also, no one will be able to see that he's in that angle without exposing their heads and giving him a chance to kill them. So that sort of isolated angle defense is what enables him to get so many successful kills. And more than the kills, because obviously you have to hit the shot for that, is what keeps him alive so long into these fights, gives him more chances to survive. Another thing to look at is like the little, he did this like 1 or 2 times, but when the enemy Widow has infrasight up and he doesn't want the fight, which is usually when the enemy Widow has infrasight up, he does the fake peeks by like pretending to step into an angle, and he scopes in like he's really going to step into the angle, but he just doesn't actually. And that baits the Widow to shoot, and it baits her to thus reveal her location, and then, you know, also waste her charge shot, right? So she's not killing his teammates at that time. So yeah, I mean, obviously his team's really good, obviously, but like everyone in every review I ever do in Overwatch, I'm watching pro players, I'm watching pro teams. Of course, there's a ton of teamwork that goes in, but the point of these reviews is that, you know, people can learn something from the individual player, because some teamwork stuff is kind of always going to be, if you're not playing with pro teams, you're never going to experience that. So you need to get to your own individual game to a strong level in order to understand, in order for these sort of plays, you know, to fit into a pro team, right? Like ANS is playing intelligently, but so are his teammates. That's what enables all of the intelligent play to work. If your teammates play really stupid, then you can't play this way. But, you know, we assume this is high level play. This is how you learn from it. And even though, to be fair, what ANS is doing is like, you can do this. Like, even if you're not nearly as good, you're learning Widowmaker, you're getting better, you can still play in a position that exposes you to only one angle. That is still a good idea, right? Like, you don't need to stand out in the middle of nowhere on Widow. That's still bad, no matter how good you are, Widow, you know, new or old. So I do think there's a lot you can learn from this. I do think this is also maybe one of the least effective reviews in terms of helping people learn, because a lot of what he does is just hit incredible shots over and over again. But that's the nature of hit scan core DPS, is it's like the most raw skill, like just hit the head and you win class. But, you know, that's the joy of watching Widowmaker. And, you know, so yeah, I hope everyone had a good time. Hope everyone enjoyed watching this review of ANS. I know I did. This was definitely fun for me, even if my coaching tips are less relevant for a Widow player. I still think there's a lot you can learn from in the way ANS plays the game, the way he approaches hit scan